are go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
Well, I didn't see that coming.
No, you never do. People should get used to it because I'm always coming to these shows, and this time around, I am having one of my favorite guests of not just one but several times. I remember we had an interview. It says here 4 years ago, but it could have been more. Right? I think it was January 1st. And if it was 4 years ago, that was 2015. Anyways, Magdalena Murillo is on the line. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I am wonderful. Yeah.
We are back again, and we're back in town, baby.
We're back at it. We can't get enough.
So?
No, actually, Magdalena, we actually had a very, long friendship, and it started. Anyways, we just started a while ago, about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago now. I don't know. Doesn't matter. How you doing, anyways?
I'm alive and dandy like a dandelion flower.
Like a what? I didn't get that. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, what's
going
up
on?
with your
The energy's coming back.
the energy? Exactly. Thank you. You know what happens lately? I don't know if it's just me, but I've been kind of away. Well, not away. I haven't been away, but anyways, I'm recuperating. I'm still in my cocoon. I'm getting comfortable. I'm watching a lot of TV lately. I'm just binging. What do you call it? Binge watching TV. Just I don't know. Just getting out of a few things that have come through. So my point is that I'm ready to get busy again because next year is coming around the corner, and it's all about new changes. And Mercury retrograde has come and passed. So I think it's now time to get inspiration again, and to start writing again, and to start doing it again. It comes a point where you have to set yourself. Give time to yourself. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Well, we all have a journey, and the journey is the destination. And sometimes during the destination, you make some stops, and you hang out for a little bit and just contemplate and without doing much, but you're still on that destination.
Right. I like how you put
Right?
that. It's like, yeah, this is. I do actually. I remember one time they were asking me. It was one of those poetry events. I forgot. I think it was in Pasadena or South Pasadena somewhere, and they asked us to describe our lives as if it was a train, and there were only 3 stations. That you have to stop in 3 different stations. So I guess that's where I'm at. I'm on station number 1 or 2, maybe number 2, because you don't control the first time of your, the train starts going the moment that you come into the planet, but then the first part of your journey you're not in control of. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a baby, you're learning. You know what I mean? Maybe you're learning the right things. you're learning the wrong things, but you don't know because this is your first time, the first part of your journey. You're not in control of after until you get to the first station. So I guess I'm on station 2 or maybe 3. I don't know. What station do you think you're on?
I think I am just on half of my life, I would say. I mean,
Right.
at my age, when when I turned 40, I thought, okay, I'm 40 years old, so I estimate that I'm gonna live about 80, so I'm on the half of it. So on the half of my journey, and like you say, when we're little, we're not in control of things. As we age, as we unfold our lives, we tend to be. We try to understand that in reality, it's a learning process, and it's not so much about gaining control, but becoming aware, but being more conscious by, knowing yourself, by wanting to know more of you, who you are, and what holds you in this planet. If you can relate to that.
I can. It makes sense because, yeah, like we were saying, it's just on your way to your destination, you're gonna find, yourself along the way, but then again, it's a distorted version of yourself. And I think Lauryn Hill, the singer, she was doing a concert, and it was interesting because people criticized her, right? She was being criticized. She was saying that she was having a nervous meltdown, and she was going through, she's crazy, things like that. And she said, you know what? I'm reintroducing myself to my audience. How do you think you know me if I don't even know myself? So I'm reintroducing myself to you, and you're seeing this version of me. You don't even know who I am because you know what? I just found out who I am today, like recently, like now. Now I know something I didn't know about myself. So you cannot pretend to know me when I just found out who I am, and now this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like when you become a poet, or when you become an artist, or when you become the person you wanted to be, people around you don't want to see that or don't take you seriously. And so now that's why I'm always having you around because I see your progression as an artist. And I'm saying that, not only as an artist, painting artist, a spoken word artist, but also as a person, if you don't know, if you know what I mean.
Well, in reality, I think we all are born artists, but we lose ourselves. The artist is the little child within you that wants always to be free. And when you can hold that as you're an adult, you are still, you are the artist. And I feel like besides being an artist, I'm just a human being like anybody else. I'm just a human being living each day and trying to make the most. And that I do. I try to make the most of myself, give the best of me. And in the end of the day, that's what makes me who I am.
Right. So tell us, tell the audience, what have you been writing lately? What is your latest venture? Because I know that you're not doing the same thing you used to do it before. If I remember correctly, you were on the open mic one time, and you kept laughing and laughing. You couldn't stop laughing. I don't know if it was you were nervous, or you were not secure, or you were unsure of yourself like I was. You remember how we were at the beginning, right? And so, but I saw your progress, and then as we moved along the path that we're on, we discovered that we're very strong and our voice is very unique, and nobody can be like us, obviously. And so, what is your journey? How's your poetry been lately?
I've been actually feeling the energy of writing, whereas maybe not too much during the past 4 years. I have done too much, but lately, and I mean, the poetic energy has come to me. The muse has visited me, and I feel like writing something. I'm constantly just thinking and just, just wanting to free myself, and that is one of the ways that describes me the most. I each day try to free myself from whatever, it's tying my hands, my mind, my soul, and just try to escape. That's all. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of things that I can share.
We'd like to hear
in fact,
that.
we were talking. Huh?
I would like to
What is
hear
it?
that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well,
Go
as
ahead.
we're talking, remember how we are in control and how we aren't in control as we're little. I wrote something about that earlier today that relates to that, kind of.
Right. Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. Please share.
Yeah.
Please tell us. Mm-hmm.
So, this is in Spanish.
No, está bien. Hablamos acá español. Y lo que no,
Okay,
well,
so
whoever's
we
listening and
switch.
doesn't understand, we can switch. Yes, we can, for sure. We can go back.
Okay.
I don't know. Are you going to do, hold on a second, before you start. Are you doing one in Spanish and then later we're going to do English again, or we're going to keep going in Spanish, or you tell me.
Well, then in that case, we can, talk a little bit about I mean, I have things to talk about.
No.
I have,
No. I just want to
like
know
I
because
have
that way, no, because you know why I'm saying this? Because whoever's listening on YouTube, if they don't understand Spanish, whatever, they can fast forward until you're done, and then we can continue talking in English. That way they can understand, you know what I mean? And we can talk about your poem and analyze it and all that. But, go ahead. Whatever you were doing right now, because I want to hear what you wrote today. I'm curious now. And so go ahead, and then if you're listening on YouTube and you don't understand Spanish, you can fast forward maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes and see if we're back after your poem. But go ahead.
Okay, so
Adelante.
so this is something that I wrote earlier. It's relatively short. It's in Spanish.
Okay.
And it's titled Volar más allá de los pensamientos del tiempo. ¿Cómo podría ser? Saber que existo un momento. Soy pequeño y no lo sé. Solo vivo en el querer. Me descubro diariamente. Creo no saber quién seré. Me busco en rostros. A veces siento que me pierdo entre ellos. Lloro de miedo por no entender nada de esta vida. Creo los juguetes imaginarios me ayudan. Luego, entre mis dudas, encuentro sonrisa de mi mamá y vuelvo a creer en esta realidad. Veo otras criaturas correr. Ellos no tienen miedo como yo. Intento otra vez aprender, pero me da hambre y quiero comer. Y dejo ese juego para después. Ta-da!
All right. Cool. Okay. I like it. Well, tell us what inspired you to write this piece this morning.
You know, what inspires me is that, in fact, when we're little, we are not in control of our lives. We don't even know that we're alive. We don't know anything. We just go by. You know what I mean? I see it in my niece and my nephew. And it's like, it's all about the game. It's all about playing. It's all about eating and crying sometimes. And I feel that when we are that little, we're not in control. I mean, we're being fed by our parents, by our grandparents, by everyone that, you know, is around us. And we're not in control.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's when you know, I do believe that's when a lot of, you know, toxins enter our emotional system.
Mm.
Because we all make mistakes, and our parents make mistakes too. But in reality, I mean, it's just that we are not in control. But as we age, we can unfold ourselves, and little by little, we become who we are. So that's practically what, you know, put me in that.
Right. Well, when I when I was listening to your poem, and then what I have to what I just realized right now is I was translating your poem as you were talking into English for some reason. I don't know why, and then I had to be like, no, don't do that, Victor. You know Spanish. You don't need to do that. It was weird, because I was trying to analyze it, and I'm like, don't do that either, because you know what I mean. Like, I don't like doing analytical. Like, I was somewhere last week. It was not. It was an open mic. Yes, it was, because it was storytelling. Anyways, they started with this workshop where everybody brought something that they were working on, right? And I don't like that workshop idea, and I'll explain why. When everybody was telling their story, right? And they were telling the story of their lives. At the end of their story, as they were telling their story, they were being self-critical, because everybody is self-critical, right? Like, when you're talking, you're criticizing yourself as you're speaking. Anyway, so was one part of it. But at the end of what you just presented to the group, now the group has to break it down, and they have to critique it. They call it critique, right? But all I saw was criticizing, minimizing, telling her, hey, you should do this. This character should be doing this, or why don't you try doing it this way? And I'm like, but this is her story. Why are you adding things to her story that don't belong in the story? So you know what I'm like. I was like, I don't feel comfortable in this group, and not because I don't know them, but because I was just like, don't do that. Like, that takes away from the piece, which I enjoyed. You don't have to change it. And anyways, I don't know if it makes any sense what I just said.
No, you know, I'm kind of trying to understand. I mean, I do tell you that in reality, we all have a story to tell. You know, and but you have to be comfortable in your own self, with your own life, with your own decisions.
You remember?
And sometimes
you remember? Hold on, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you have to reach a point that, you know what, you are happy and you are in peace. And a lot of the personal stories, I think they're kind of difficult, because not all of us are open to, you know, speak of our own lives or talk about our own lives. Mm-hmm. I myself, on the other hand, you know, I mean, I'm not afraid, but again, I don't know. I mean, not too many people care about. I mean, the person that should care the most is you, and that's you know where we need to be comfortable with ourselves.
Well, because we're writing for when I write, I write for me first. If I'm happy with it, and I work on it and edit it and whatever, I'm ready to share it, right? But by the time I share it with you, by the time I open up, and say the piece, I am happy with the piece. There's nothing wrong with the piece. You know what I mean? Like when I'm ready to share this, it's because I know it's ready. The poem is ready. The piece is ready. The story is ready. And so no matter what you think of it, or no matter what the people are gonna think of this, is, in my opinion, is as good as it gets. It may be, you can change it later, of course. You can make it shorter, you can make it sound prettier, you can make it rhyme, le puedes poner ahí unos arreglitos, you can add music to it, you can maracas, or whatever, okay? But the piece, it's ready. And so whatever they say, whatever the critical minds are doing, it's not going to diminish what I'm doing, what I'm saying. And so that's what I think. And so, but you remember when I was laughing earlier, it's just you and I, we had that experience before at our workshop that we were doing. If you remember, we were in Silmar, and I'm laughing because I know what you're. I don't know if you remember, but we were all sharing our pieces, right? In the group, and the group was very friendly. Alejandro was there, Alfredo was there. Anyways, we were there. You and I were there, and then there was this person, who I'm not going to mention his name. I don't even remember his name, but he came as a guest. You remember, right? He came as a guest, okay? And this guy was just quiet for a moment. But he waited for us to all share our pieces or our stories or whatever poems that we're doing. And then he started criticizing us. And I got so mad with this guy that I wrote a piece for him right away. I was like, oh, you're one of those, right? And I was so angry that I came with this conquistador. I called the piece El Conquistador. Oh, here comes the Spanish conquistador to conquer us, right? And to come here and claim his territory, and and bringing his Bible and bringing his cross and bringing his guns, and I just felt all of a sudden violated, and I felt so offended. I don't know if you remember that. I know you do, but it was
actually
hilarious.
I do remember. I know who you're talking about, but I'm not gonna mention the name.
Right. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's not gonna listen to this podcast anyways. Yeah.
No, I remember.
Oh, those. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Is somebody calling you?
Huh? I can't hear you. No, I'm on the phone. Oh, I'll talk to you later. No, it's okay. So yeah, I mean, I remember. Yeah. So, but let me tell you something. I don't know if you are you finished?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. What you're saying on this. I mean, the way I understand is that what, and I came up with this idea, like, as I contemplate nature and the birds, I was just thinking, if the birds are happy, why shouldn't I be happy? And they're free artists. They don't care about people listening to them. They don't care about people, liking their poems or liking their singing, their chirping. Birds are free.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, birds are like magic to me. And that's how I feel. Like sometimes I think I have the soul of a bird, or maybe I do. Again, it's just the wind whisper.
What kind of bird?
I think I'm like a paloma. I don't know.
Okay.
Or a colibri. One of those. What do you call colibri?
Hummingbird. Hummingbird.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I drink that
Yeah,
water.
I like hummingbirds a lot. I like hummingbirds a lot.
Yep.
Right. Do you have another piece about that particular?
I do.
'Cause I think you do.
Yeah. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. I hear the birds. They're singing their melodies. Their song bring peaceful sounds to my soul. I hear birds up on trees. They're singing new songs. Days they fill with whisper, giving hope to the world. With their notes, they carry bliss, and I listen. I hear birds outside my door. See through the window, they're sitting on oaks, just singing joy. And I watch, hear their voice, lifting the spirit above. I hear birds singing their song, brings hope with their own sounds. From treetops, they give life. Do you hear the birds singing tonight? That's it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Is that freestyle? Do you just come up? I mean, did you write it down, or is this coming out of your head?
You know, some of them originated as freestyles, and then I make modifications on some of them. On some, I just leave it the way it is because I think it was a magic that was born at that particular time, in that instance, and I like the freedom that it delivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, what was the title of your poem? Remember the one that that you remember we went to, what was this? We went to a Sereno, and we went to an open mic with Edie's Leanda, and you had something with frozen something.
Remember Antarctica? Antarctica.
Ah, Antarctica, yes.
And your poetry got cold.
Yeah, yes.
Remember that?
Oh God,
Yep.
I love that piece. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your poetry got cold.
Your poetry got cold.
Yeah, and our poetry has been, I mean, at least for myself, my poetry got cold for a while, but now it's warming up again.
Yep. Well, I think that particular piece was, not only was it, it was really good because that inspired me to write a piece as well, and we kind of meshed it together. That's when I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was cool. Because everybody loved that piece also in that particular open mic we went to. They were like, oh my God, yes, your poetry got cold. Anyways, but going back to the one you just did about the birds. What was the title of that one? Do you have a title for this one?
For the birds?
Yeah.
It's just birds singing, or birds' voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of thing. You know, it's just that we're losing. What is it?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, what I'm saying, what I see in this society, that we're losing a lot of our sensibilities. A lot of connections, because we're always so busy with the things around, with the phone, with the TV, with the internet, with the making money. Like everything is based on making money. Like everyone, and we're losing so much of that. We're losing our true human being connection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I see sometimes, that, we're losing ourselves. When we close your eyes to see beauty outside, with the birds and the trees and nature, I mean, we're losing so much. I mean, we cannot detach from ourselves. I don't know. I guess it has something to do more with myself, where I come from, because I always think of, when I was a child back in Mexico, and I saw the mountains and the trees and the birds and the rain and everything, and poetry always brings me back to that. Or that particular, memory brings me to poetry. I don't know. It's either one or both.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, like a song can bring you back, or a memory can bring that back, or it's basically inspiration comes. You never know when it's going to come, but yeah, it always brings you back to your childhood, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think we all have something. There's always something in us, that brings that.
Mm-hmm.
We all have something that we can give, that we can see, that we can share, that we can live for, besides living for money. Or, I mean, it's a big problems, but I'm not going to go into that, political subject.
I'll add something to that, and it's about money. As you know my circumstances or my situation now. I am no longer bound to mortgage payments, right? Anyways,
there's freedom on that.
It's so much freedom, you have no idea. And I'm not saying, for everybody that it's my journey. This is basically what is going on with me. Is that was such a liberation. That was such a moment where I sold my house. Not only did I sell my house, but I basically was carrying this cross. And when I was able to sell the house and get rid of all my stuff there, I was able to get a few things out, but most of the stuff was gone. Give it to the neighbors. I gave it away, basically. I felt so relieved and so light, and that's where I'm coming from right now. That's why I'm so calm, and I'm laughing more, and I'm enjoying myself more. I had the best time in Puerto Rico when I went. I am enjoying just my alone time, my freedom in many ways, as you know. And money is not, it's not freedom. Money is the opposite of freedom. Like, I think the more money you have, or the more you have, the more tied down you are.
Yep.
Right. But you know what? Before I go, because we actually, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I had something that I wrote about, while we're talking back in June.
Okay.
And that's exactly what it is. It's freedom.
Go ahead.
So, but go ahead. You were saying something.
No, go ahead. I wanted to read the poem that you wrote and I wrote together. But before I do that, which is that's going to be the end of the show because we only have like 10 minutes. But yeah, before I do that, I wanted to tell my audience that how do people look at your poetry or your art? Is there any particular on Instagram, or what do you prefer, Facebook, or how do you want people to follow you and not only see a poet?
Yeah.
Not only is she a poet, but she's also an artist and a painter. So, is there anything you want to share with the audience, or?
Magdalena the Great, baby.
Okay.
Magdalena the Great on Instagram and Magdalena the Great on Facebook. What is it?
No,
go ahead.
Go ahead. That's good. So let's hear your next poem because we only have, and I know you're busy. You have the lady over there, so go ahead and
No,
share your piece, and then I'll continue with my piece.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna share this one actually. This is not. This is more about what we were discussing just a bit ago, and it's titled "As We Become Powerful."
Mhm.
As we become powerful, we lose connection. Our sensibility gets lost in what we obtain. Supposedly, we've gained everything, but we lost it all. As we become powerful, we lose control of ourselves. We get thrown into jails. We lose connection. As we become powerful on this life, we become hungrier than before. For we must fulfill our greed and live, and we live for wanting that they have. As we become powerful, we lose our lives, thinking we've gained the skies, but we lost our feet. We're only hands. Our sensibility is gone. Because greed and power amputated our parts. Now we can't touch ground. Earth is nothing compared to what's on top. As we become powerful, we lose our trails. We cannot walk. We don't humble. We don't bend nor bow. We've gone far away from our purpose, our real path. As we become powerful, we lose our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. That's very powerful right there. As you're talking about power,
Yep.
it's funny because I see your poetry has more power than you can imagine. You know what I mean? It's not the same kind of power.
Well, we
But
go
anyways,
back to that. You know what?
Mhm.
Yeah, we go back to the power that is given to us, and poetry truly is powerful. And the action is even more
That's my point.
powerful. Go ahead.
Mhm.
No, I know
Well,
your timing is up.
no, it's actually yes, it's almost up. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I can go through this one. Let me see. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
read
you know
it.
what?
I want to hear it.
I can't. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So this is a combination of Antarctica, which was your piece, and my piece is called Frozen Heart. So we merge, basically I merged your Antarctica with my piece, and this is what came out of it.
All right.
So Frozen Heart. Here's Frozen Heart. Miles of walking through thick blankets of ice. Snow blows on the poet's face before he grabs his ice pick and carves into the solid blue ice that contains your heart. Don't let your poetry go cold, you said to me one winter night. And then under the Arctic starry night, before the cruelest of blizzards came through, I remember shivering. I remember your body shaking just to stay warm. Don't let your poetry go cold, you said, as icicles attached to your blonde hair before your own heart turned to an icy sculpture. An avalanche of emotions rushing down the mountain, white snow till the eyes can see, demolishing everything in its path, wiping every laughter, wiping every dream, wiping every trace, wiping every memory of happiness from your face. Trapped in your icy cell, frozen in time, the eternal night when your poetry got cold. An iceberg now sits on the Antarctica landscape of your heart. Will it ever see the sun? Will the sun melt the ice that surrounds it? I take my ice pick, use these healing words, this poetry of mine and now yours, to carve right through the ice until getting into your frozen heart. That same heart that stopped beating the night when poetry got cold. And that was written in 2015. And that was inspired by Magdalena Murillo, Magdalena the Great. And anyhow,
Hey.
that's it.
You know, our poetry shouldn't get cold. We shouldn't let it, because it's so important and it's so powerful just to continue, because poetry brings life.
Right. Exactly. But we can always talk all day, and but the blizzard's coming, the winter is coming, and we must say goodbye. But it's not. It's all, hasta después, hasta luego, porque we only have a couple minutes left. But I want to thank Magdalena once again for coming. As always, you're always welcome to come to my little space of poetry and life. And people I think will appreciate your poetry as I do. And ¿qué más te digo? No sé. What do you want to say?
Well, I just want to say that, you know what, just call me. Just call me and I'm here, and we can share. It's important.
Yes, it is.
To share.
And with that, my friends, I will say hasta luego, and then we're gonna take it out with this is my own song, by the way. You didn't see this coming, so here it goes again.
We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.